Welcome to the latest episode of Yoga with Carly. Today we're going to focus on relaxation, a practice that I think is crucial for our busy, active lifestyles. So before we begin today, if you have a bolster, grab that. If you've got a couple of pillows at home, just grab that and we'll get going. So we'll begin our practice today with a centering, which is really important to just take that time to come onto your mat and clear your mind before we do our practice. So just sitting up nice and tall, making sure you're comfortable, and we'll close our eyes here. And as we do our centering, just focusing on your breath, taking deep breaths in, and exhaling all the breath out. And each time you exhale, feel as though you're releasing any stress or tension you may have built up in your day. And allow your mind to start turning inward. So you just start to pay attention a little more to what you're sensing, what you're experiencing, and how you feel in this moment. So as we're centering here, just relaxing down through your seat, a nice tall spine. Relax your shoulders down and back and let there be some space in the collarbone region so your heart feels open. And take a minute to soften the throat. Relax the jaw, soften the eyelids, the forehead, and just sensing a ripple effect of relaxation throughout the whole body. And from here, we'll join our hands together at our hearts and we'll just rub the hands together so you'll create some friction in between the hands and create some heat. Okay, and then from here, we'll place the palms over the eyes so you're just bowing in, you're looking into darkness. And together we'll take a nice deep breath in and just sighing out any tension in the mind. One more time. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sighing out. And then from here, you can just massage the eyes and face, the temples and jaw. And just rubbing your neck and shoulders. And bringing your hands to the throat, massaging the throat. And then the heart space. And then we'll just let our hands rest on the heart. And if you'd like, you can create an intention for your practice today. Just something you'd like to dedicate the energy of this practice to. Maybe just sending some healing your way or out to someone else in need. And we'll take a deep breath into our heart. And exhale. We'll slowly take the hands down and gently open your eyes, just inviting this presence to your practice, keeping this mindful presence with you throughout the whole rest of practice. Okay. So we'll begin now with some joint mobilization, some simple movements to open the body and ease our way into our relaxation. So we're going to start by inhaling and just looking up to the sky. And exhaling and bringing your chin to your chest. So again, inhale, look up. Exhale, looking down. And as we do this, we'll just start to link the breath with movement. Starting to develop that mind-body connection. Good, and we'll just do a few more here. And if you've got any tension or strain in the neck, just taking it easy, listening to your body as you practice. in this and all of the rest of the exercises we'll do. Okay, so come back to center. Now looking over to your right and then to the left. Again, just side to side movements. And taking it easy with your neck. Good, and then bringing it back to center. Now we'll drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder and just drop the left shoulder down, stretching into the side of the neck. And you can just stay here if you want. You can massage a little bit into the neck. Sometimes that feels nice. Good, so a couple more long deep breaths here. And then we'll switch sides over to the left, just dropping down through the right shoulder. Again, just breathing here. If you want to massage this side, do go ahead. Good, and then we'll come back to the center. And we'll just take a moment to rotate our shoulders back and down. And then from here, just taking your hands out behind you. So you're opening through your chest. And just try to open your chest as big as you can. And start to squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift up towards the sky. So slowly lifting, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And we're really strengthening the rhomboids and opening through the pecs, through the chest here. Keep going a little bit more, and then finally the hands will touch. And you can just kind of hold here, hands touching, or interlace the hands and press up, and you'll get a nice stretch through the arms and hands as well as the sides of the waist. And when you're here, just trying to breathe some energy into the rib cage and into the chest. The long deep breaths here, lengthening through your spine. Good, making sure you're exhaling any tension through the mouth. Good, and then we'll gently make the hands form little beaks and we'll place those onto the shoulders. And we'll draw big circles with the shoulders, so really warming up through the rotator cuffs. So inhaling as you open the arms and squeeze your shoulder blades back together, and then exhaling as you round your spine and draw your hands forward, your elbows forward. And keep going like this. And just going with the breath, going at your own pace. Good, and then going the other way around, inhaling and opening the chest, exhaling and rounding. And one more time. Good, and just pausing here for a second. And now we're going to inhale and lift those arms up again towards the sky, finding space in the spine. And then we'll drop the right hand down, lift and lengthen through the left arm, and then just drop the arm over the head. So we're really trying to work on the side bend. So rooting down through the left hip and breathing here into the side of the waist. And if you have any shoulder issues going on, you can always just place your hand on your low back and just lean this way. Okay, so it's up to you what feels comfortable. This whole practice is all about creating openness in the body and relaxation. So just doing everything at your own pace, taking it very easy. Okay, now inhale, lifting up to the center, finding space again in the spine, and then exhaling to the second side. And breathing nice and deep into the sides of the waist. Creating creating some room for our internal organs. A few more breaths here. One more deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. And then inhale to rise back up through center. Again, creating space in the spine. And we'll move into a twist to our right. So you'll take your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you, lifting and opening through the spine, and then twisting and looking back behind you. Breathing into the chest. Sweeping the arms back up through center and exhaling to the other side. So once again, as you twist, it's always about lengthening the spine and then opening. So you don't want to be pushing back into the back hand. You want to use your muscles of your spine to keep you lifted upright. And you can always take a cushion underneath your seat if you're feeling like you're rounding a lot in the low spine. Now we'll inhale our arms back up to the sky. And we'll exhale and just take the hands behind us. So here we'll rotate back through the shoulders. We'll kind of press down through our hands and lift the chest nice and high. And you can slightly drop your head back, but keep the chin engaged and up towards the ceiling. If you want to go deeper, you can lift your hips up and point your knees down towards the floor. And you'll just experience a little bit of a deeper stretch into the thighs and hips. But if it doesn't feel right, then just don't do this. Just skip this step. Okay, and then we'll slowly lower our seat back down. We'll raise our arms up again. And this time we're just reaching forward. So you're creating this lengthening in the spine. Just kind of walk out as far as you can go and then drop your head. Sending the breath into the back ribs and into the lower part of the back. Taking it nice and slow and easy. So we're easing our way into relaxation today. So just doing everything gently at your own pace and using the breath as a gateway to tune in into deeper aspects of yourself. Okay. So from here now, we'll just move to all fours. Okay. So coming into cat to cow, just check that your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And on the inhale, we're going to arch the back, looking up. And on the exhale, we're going to round our spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding. And so it's important for you to establish your own breath connection. So you go at the pace that is right for you. And got a few more like this. Good, coming back through center, and then we're gonna just drop into a child's pose. So you'll bring your seat towards your heels, you'll walk your hands out, dropping the head to the floor. And of course, if it's not reaching there, you might take a block and just place it here. Or stack your hands and rest your head there. Okay, in your child's pose, breathing into the back. Okay, it's a great posture to slow down the mind, to connect, to let go of any anxiety or worry, to just be. Good, and then from here, we'll come back to all fours again. And we're just gonna create some movement here. So we're gonna make some big circles with the body. So kind of put some pressure into the fingertips as you draw forward. Make a big circle up to the side, and then come back down almost to a child's pose again. And just keep going, making these movements and listening to your body. Do what feels good, go as deep as you want, and kind of circle here. Good, and then we'll go the other way around. Good, we'll make one more circle. And we'll come back to the center. Now we're just gonna do a little stretch for our extensors in the forearm. So we're gonna turn our hands around. And for some of us, this will feel really, really, really tight. So just take it easy. And you might be feeling enough of a stretch here. If you wanna go a little deeper, you'll just kind of draw back and try to press down through the base of the wrists. So nice long, deep breaths here. Good, and then switch the hands around. Now, we'll shift our weight forward into a modified plank pose. Okay, we'll lift our toes up, and we're gonna do a gentle sort of push-up downward. So we'll just slowly lower down, bending the elbows straight back, and then we'll plant our toes. Okay, feet are together, rotating the shoulders back and down, and then lifting the chest up off the mat and the hands up off the mat. And a lot of people have a tendency to lift their head up and look up in this pose, which strains the neck a lot. So the way I teach it is to just draw your chin in so the back of the neck is long. And just breathing here, working on this strengthening pose, and really, really great for posture correction. Good. Now, just soften here. Make a little pillow with your hands. Drop your forehead down. And just spend some time breathing into the belly. Some nice long, deep breaths. Feeling the low back rise, the mid back rise, the upper back rise, and fall with the breath. Good, and then from here, from this position, you'll just turn your cheek to one side and you'll draw one of your knees up and in. So you're sort of making a 90-degree angle with the top of the thigh and the lower leg. And you're still here on your belly, and you're just closing your eyes, breathing into the belly softly, and it's a very passive pose. And this is really, really good for resting the L.S.Y muscle, which is a muscle in our bodies that become really, really tight with stress and from a lot of sitting in our day. Okay, so just try to breathe in the belly here, nice and gently. Take it easy. Okay, and then you'll rest that leg back down, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you'll turn your cheek to the other side, you'll bring the knee up, and again, just breathing here. Good, and taking that leg back down. Okay, and we're gonna move into downward facing dog now. So we're gonna lift up to all fours. We're gonna curl our toes, press back through the hands and then lift the hips up off the mat. So you're pushing the thighs back, you're dropping the chest down. And we're just stretching out our whole body here. Okay, and so we can walk our dog by pressing kind of into one heel and bending the opposite knee. So we'll do that on each side a few times just to stretch into our calf muscles. And if this is too much for you on your wrists, then you can just come down onto your knees. Okay, good. Just a few more like this. Good. Pressing back through the heels, dropping through the chest. Now just taking a deep breath into the rib cage, just filling the lungs with your breath. Exhaling and slightly deepening into the posture. Okay. Just doing the best you can. Inhale, deepening the breath. And exhale, deepening the posture. And then from here, we're gonna move into forward fold. So you're gonna start to walk your feet towards the hands. And here we'll just hang. And of course, your knees might stay bent. And you can grab a hold of your elbows. So the upper body is soft. We're not looking forward. We're just completely relaxing the head. You can just shake the head out if it feels good. You can gently bring some pressure into the tops of the feet. So if your weight's a lot back into the heels, drop forward towards your toes. Now, bring the hands to the shins. Inhale to a flat back, so drawing the heart forward and pushing the sit bones back. And then once again, exhaling, bowing in, dropping the head. Inhaling, lifting the chest, coming through flat back. And exhale, bowing in. And this time as you come through flat back, you'll open your arms up to the side, engage the core, and slowly stand up, lifting the arms up overhead, and exhaling the hands to your heart. And then we'll just come back to the top of our mat. We'll take our legs a little bit wider with our toes pointing out, and we're gonna move down into a gentle squat. So just bending through the knees. And you might not come as far down as I do. You might stay here, or if it's working for you, you'll just come down and we'll bring our elbows towards the inner knees and hands at our hearts. Okay, and so trying to sort of sink down through the sit bones as if there's little weights there, and then lifting through your chest, creating some space in the spine. So all of these postures are just preparing ourselves for the breathing exercises we're gonna do and the meditation we're gonna do at the end, the relaxation meditation. So these are the preliminary postures to get us to the higher practices of yoga, which is all based in cleaning and clearing out the mind for more peace within. Okay, so now coming into a seated position, and we can come into a wide leg forward fold now. So lots of forward folds. If you want, you can come up onto a blanket or a bolster, something higher if you need to. And you're gonna just extend your legs pretty wide. You might have another bolster like this, or a block as well, that you can sort of set up in front of you like so. And we can just start to fold forward and rest down onto the bolster or block. And this is pretty challenging, so if you don't reach that far, if your hands are on the ground and you're just like this, that's absolutely fine too. So we're more concerned about sensation and experiencing the posture than making the end goal be your prize or whatever. So just keeping it nice and easy. Remember, it's all about relaxing today. Okay. So if you do turn your head to one side, it's a good idea to turn it to the other side just to balance out the neck. Just remember your toes are sort of flexed in towards you, and you're trying to create a nice lengthening in the low spine. Good, and then we'll gently come up from here, and we can just move these things out of the way for a little while. And now we're going to come onto our backs. So just laying down onto our backs, and we're going to do something called pelvic tilt. So it's a little bit hard to see, but what we're doing is tilting the pelvis forward and arching through the low back, and then exhaling and dropping the back in towards the mat so the belly draws in towards the spine. So we're creating more of a gap in the low back, and then we're exhaling and drawing the belly towards the spine and flattening out the back. So just do this a few times. It's a really grounding exercise, really great for low back pain and for just settling in through the sacral region. Okay, mentally, emotionally has a huge connection to grounding and calming down any sense of worry or anxiety. Okay, so just a few more like this. Good. And then we can take our block. So we just grab our block and we'll place it right underneath that sacral area that you were just massaging on the mat through your pelvic tilts. Okay? And just relax here. So if you don't have a block and you're practicing at home and you have a pillow or some blankets or something, you can just place that to elevate the hips a little bit. And then you can close your eyes, relax your arms down, palms facing up so the shoulder blades flatten out onto the mat, and just tune into your breath here. So I invite you to close your eyes in your practice. It's one way to just shut off one of the senses and for you to move more inward into the body, into that inward experience, which yoga really enhances that connection to ourselves. Okay, so giving yourself that permission to slow down in this practice and just be the observer and witness experiencing the practice. Okay, a few more breaths like this. And then we'll lift our hips. We'll take that block away and just allow your hips to lower down back into a neutral position. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest and just sort of rock side to side here. Another thing to mention is a lot of people have some arch in the back, so it should be rounded shoulders. You might arch a lot through the neck and it might feel uncomfortable for you to do this. So you could also take a little blanket underneath your head, but you don't want it so high that it's making you round more inwards. We want to start bringing our spine back to its neutral position and keeping that nice curve in the cervical spine. So just keep hugging your knees in, and we'll come into Apana-asana. So you'll take your right knee in towards the right shoulder, and you'll drop the left leg down and press away through the heel. And we'll just hold here. Nice deep breath. Breathing into the belly. And then switching sides. Bring in the left knee. Extend through the right heel. So trying to flatten out that bottom leg onto the mat And just keep trying to squeeze this left knee inward. And then we'll take both knees in. So you can either have them apart or together, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Gently roll up, and we'll use our bolster or our blankets or pillows, whatever we have, and we're going to just stack that behind our hips, and the soles of the feet are going to draw together. So this is going to be a big stretch for our inner thighs, and if you know you have tight inner thighs, you might also want to just block the knees, so that will prevent gravity from pushing them down too far. Okay, and then we'll just gently lean back onto our bolster or pillows, and we'll open up our chest here. Okay, so if you don't have anything, if you don't have pillows or bolsters or anything like that, you can still do this flat on your back. Okay. So just checking in here that the low back is feeling secure, and if it feels too high up on something, then lower down. Okay. Breathe in here. The more you walk your feet into the groin, the deeper you'll feel the stretch, or you'll feel the stretch into the inner thighs. Okay. And it's kind of a dual posture because we get the hip opening and the heart opening. So you're opening up through the chest and just allowing yourself to relax here completely. So this is a restorative posture. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to push ourselves. We just let gravity do the work and let the posture unfold for itself. Nice deep breaths here. It's common for the mind to race around, so just bring that mind back to the breath if you feel like it's running all over the place. Giving yourself something to focus on. Okay. And we'll do another pose very similar, so we'll just take the blocks away and we'll extend our legs. So now more of just a heart opening here and a little bit of a back bend. And again, you can close your eyes and just try to still yourself. So the body has a lot of nervous energy, and it all stems from the mind. So if the mind is busy, it's going to tell your body to move. So we're really just working on focusing on the breath and stilling ourselves to a point where we can be comfortable with being still and with having a quiet mind. So it takes practice, just like anything else we do in our life. To master it, it takes practice. Good. And from here, we can sort of just roll over onto one side, and we'll come up and I'll show you another twist we can do here. So you just want to keep your thighs sort of perpendicular to the bolster, and then we can straddle the bolster with our hands, and then we can come down and sort of just hug the bolster here, or pillows, or whatever you're resting on. So your head can either face where your knees are or out to the other side. So you'll see what feels best for you. I'm trying to hold these postures for at least 10 deep breaths. And we'll come to the other side. So what you can do is just take your bolster Bring your legs to the other side and do the same thing here. So we'll come down and either looking opposite or towards your knees, whatever feels more comfortable on your mat. And it's not so much of an active practice where we're really wanting to push ourselves and feel ourselves stretching. It's a relaxation practice where we just surrender, let go, and let gravity do the work. So we're just resting as much as possible, and reminding yourself that it's okay to slow down. And enjoying that practice. I'm going to move back up to seated now. And we're going to start doing some breathing exercises. Okay. So if you'd like, you can sit up onto something. This has become comfortable for me, just this one blanket. But if you'd like, you can sit up onto your bolsters. You can put blocks underneath your knees. You can sit on a chair. You can have extended legs. So it's all up to you and your comfort level. Now we're going to start pranayama, or breathing exercise, called 3-part breath. And this is a great beginner exercise to start working with the breath and to start realizing how the breath and the mind are so linked together. So we know that when we get upset or angry, our breath shortens, or when we're feeling really relaxed and calm, our breath deepens. So this is a practice just to bring you more in tune and sync with the breath and mind and emotions. And this practice particularly really helps to tone the organs of breathing. So we're going to just start here with our hands on our belly. So just finding your navel and sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to take 10 deep breaths into the belly. So we'll inhale, breathing into the hands, and exhaling all the breath out. So generally I like to tell my students, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. For 3, inhale. For 7, and exhale, and breathe in for 8, and exhale, breathe in for 9, and exhale, last one, breathe in for 10, and exhale. So that's the first step of the 3-part breath. That's breathing into the belly. Now the next one is to breathe into the widest part of your rib cage. So just grab a hold of that wide part of your rib cage, and the breath is going to move laterally. So as you inhale, you'll move away from the midline, breathing into your hands, and exhaling, moving in towards the midline. So find your hands there on your rib cage. Close your eyes, tune into your breath. Inhale, breathe into your hands. Exhaling. Inhaling, breathing into your hands. And exhaling towards the midline. Inhale for 3. Exhale. Inhale 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Exhale. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale, 8. Exhale. Inhale, 9. Exhale. Last one here. Breathe into the hands for 10. Exhale all the breath out. Good. And then we'll move now to the next segment of the 3-part breaths. We did belly, rib cage, and now into the chest, your heart region. So place the hands over your heart. Close your eyes. Inhale deep breath into the chest and upper back. And exhale all the breath out. Breathing in for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Exhale. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale, 8. Exhale. Inhale, 9. Exhale. Last one. Inhale for 10. Exhale. And just set your hands down onto your knees, palms facing up. Relaxing here with your eyes closed. Just sensing and noticing the difference between each segment in the 3-part breath. Notice how relaxed and calm you feel. And just coming back to breathing naturally and spontaneously. And we'll move now into our next breath exercise. So this one is called alternate nostril breath, or sometimes it's called Nadi Shodhana. So in it, we'll take our left hand in Jnana Mudra, so the first finger and thumb touching, and then the right hand in Vishnu Mudra. So you'll take the peace fingers down into the middle of the palm, and we'll be using this hand to block the nostrils, the right nostril with the thumb, the left nostril with your ring finger. So you'll be going back and forth like that. So we start by lifting the spine, closing our eyes and focusing our gaze to the third eye, so the space between the eyebrows. And we're just focusing on following the thread of breath. So we'll inhale deeply. We'll block the right nostril and we'll exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block right, exhale left. And just keep going on your own now. We'll do about 5 more rounds of that. And as you're doing your alternate nostril breath, just being aware of the thread of breath moving up one side of the nostril, hitting the top of the triangle and out through the other side. And as you start practicing more and more, we want the breath to become more and more subtle. So less friction in the nostril. You want to barely hear your breath, as if you're pouring warm oil. There's no break in the oil, just like there'd be no break in the breath. Just a nice fluid movement from side to side. So just continue doing a few more. Moving from one nostril out through the other. And if you have trouble doing this breath, if your nose is blocked for whatever reason, then you'll just do the mental practice. You'll mentally draw the awareness from breathing in from one side of the nostril to the other. And once you get to your next exhale through the left side, you'll just drop the hand down and then resume normal breathing here. Noticing the effects of this breath. And this pranayama, this breathing exercise, is perfect for balancing the hemispheres of the brain, the left and right hemispheres, and the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves. Really good for balancing. Okay, so now we'll move into our final relaxation. So we're going to lay onto our backs again. So just make sure you're comfortable. If you want to use any of your props, go ahead. I like to take my relaxation just flat on my back so my spine is in a nice neutral position. Give some room for your arms with your palms facing up, shoulders relaxing down, and for your legs with your feet just drawing outward, relaxing down. And your hips are nice and relaxed. Okay, so here it might take a few moments to settle in and fully relax. So just long, deep breaths here. And we'll do a little breathing exercise here as well. So this is called full yogic breath. And what you do is you'll breathe into the belly and into the chest, and then out through the chest and out through the belly. So you can imagine like a pitcher of water being filled. As you fill it, the bottom fills, then the top fills, and as you pour it out, the top spills out, and then the bottom spills out. Okay, so just imagining that in your mind as we do this. Okay, so we'll inhale into the belly, inhale chest, exhale chest, exhale belly. Inhale belly, inhale chest, exhale chest, exhale belly. And just keep going like that on your own. Relaxing, following the full yogic breath. Breathing in belly, breathing in chest, exhaling chest, exhaling belly. let go of that breath and just completely relax now. Coming back to any natural breath. And just feeling a heaviness in the body. Sensing all those places of the body that are connecting with the mat. And in each of those spaces, feeling a heaviness dropping you in, allowing you to relax deeper and deeper into the floor beneath you. Now we're going to take a little journey through our body, and as I mentioned, each part of the body. Just bring your awareness there and try your best to relax that area without bringing movement into that region. Just starting with the feet, relaxing through the heels, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and all 10 toes. Relax through your ankles, your shins, your calves, the tops of the knees, the back of the knees. Relaxing through the tops of the thighs, the back of the thighs. Relaxing through your hips, buttocks, groin. Relax the low belly, the low back, the upper belly, the mid back, the chest, and upper back. Relax now through your shoulders, through the armpits, the upper arms, the elbows, inner elbows, the forearms, wrists, back of the hands, the palm of the hands, and all 10 fingers. Relaxing through the neck and throat, through the back of the head, top of the head, the forehead, the eyes, the jaw, the nose, the mouth. Relax and soften through the whole face. Feel and sense the whole body now. The whole body completely relaxed and calm, lying on the floor. And just connect to that sense of peace that you've generated through relaxing yourself. And just recognizing that this is our true self. This is the state we should always be in. And the more and more we practice relaxation, the more easy it will be to access this deep state of peace within. So just taking in a few more breaths here. And now gently waking up the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, moving the head from side to side, and then stretching the arms overhead, pointing the toes so you just lengthen through the whole body. Okay. Gently roll over onto your side and just cradle your head in your arms. And then slowly coming up to seated. And here, once again, we'll just draw our hands to our hearts and just bow in and thank yourself for practicing today, for making that time out of your busy day to connect to yourself and to draw that peace within. And thank you so much for practicing with me as well. Thank you so much. Namaste.